and this is what it looked like. It had nothing in between, so we'll add a few configurations. We'll add these two properties. One is called the default name, and this is the name of the master node. And here, after we do this, we'll have to create a folder called temp inside the Hadoop folder. We'll also have to create a Hadoop directory. So we'll have to create a Hadoop directory and then inside it a temp directory. Now I'll go save that and create that. Now let's create a Hadoop directory. Let's go into that directory and make a temp directory, and this is empty. Let's go back to the root folder, the main folder, and we'll go back into the configurations folder, and next we'll edit the hdfs site.xml file. This is the hdfs site.xml file, and we'll add the following text to it. This basically replicates the data, and we supply the value too. And let's just save it. And now we'll go to the mapreduce.xml file, mapredsite.xml file. We will set the mapreduce job tracker to the master node. And this is how we're gonna do it. It uses the port 9001, which we'll open in our security group. Let's just save this, and now we have two more files called the masters, and here we'll add the master machine as the master. Go ahead and save it. Now we'll add the two slaves machine as the slaves. Now go ahead and save this too. Now we shall move the whole directory to the other two slave nodes, and we'll use secure copy for that. This is the command here, and I'll send it to the main folder of the Ubuntu user in the in the slave1 node, and it's gonna do that. There's a bunch of files, as you can see. Now do the same for the slave 2, and yes, if you go ahead and see, we can see the folder in here. Similarly for slave 2, we should have it by now. Yes. Now next we will, once this is done, and it is done, we'll format the name node. And this does is it'll create two directories in the temporary directory that we created previously. So here is the command, and yes, it works. As you can see here, it has been successfully formatted. We'll check the temp directory. Here we are. It's listed. It created DFS folder. Select that. There's another folder called name. Let's go inside that. And this should create two more folders called current and image. Now let's start the DFS. This is the command we use to, oops, not this one. Oh, okay, I copied it wrong. I'll do that again. Yeah, this is how we start the DFS, and it wants me to authenticate. Yep, that's what I wanted. So let's JPS, and we see that the name node and the secondary name node is running. Let's see what is running over here, and it's running the data node just like we wanted. I think this should be the same too. Yes, it is. Now we'll start the MapReduce too, and it's starting a task tracker, and I think I just done that. Yep, it'll run the job tracker here, and it should start the task tracker over here. Yes, so everything is working fine. The Hadoop cluster is working fine, and now we'll move on and install HBase on top of this Hadoop. We'll use the same practice. We will download HBase on our master node, and after configuring it, we'll send it over to the two slave nodes. I'll use the HBase version 0.98.8, which is compatible with the Hadoop 1.2.1. This is where I found a mirror to install the star file from, to download it from, and it should download, and then we'll untar it just like we did with the Hadoop file. You can see it's around 70 MB, so it takes a bit of time. Now we'll untar it. Now once it's done, let's just list it, and we can see the two folder, this folder and the Hadoop folder. Now we're interested in the HBase folder, so we'll go to that, and like Hadoop, we shall edit some of the configuration files. Go to the configuration folder. These are the files. We'll edit the HBase environmental, add Java path to it, the HBase site, the region servers, specify which, like just like the masters or slaves file, it specifies which node to use as a region server, and that is pretty much it. So we'll start with the HBase environmental file. Now, just like we did it for the other one, uncomment the Java home path and add the other path to it. Save it. That's good. Now let's move on to the HBase site file, and we'll add some properties in here. We'll add these properties over here, and this is called the HBase master, and it's telling it to use the master machine and the 60,000 port. And this one, it is of the zookeeper, and the zookeeper will run on the master machine. Usually the zookeeper HBase doesn't manage the zookeeper, so we'll have to change the environmental.sh file again so that we set the zookeeper managed by HBase to yes. I'll show you how it is done. And all this configuration, I'll have it as a separate text documents as a part of my code in my project. Let's just save this, and we'll go back to the other file. We'll go to this file again, and right somewhere at the bottom we'll have to uncomment one of the lines. Okay, here it is at line 124, and we'll just uncomment this, set it to true, and save it. Now let's move on to the region servers file, and it says localhost, and we'll add the master, slave, and all. We want to run the region server on all of them, so we'll add all these machines, just format it. Oops. And save it again. So now we are done with changing all the configuration files, and like we did with Hadoop, we'll send this over to the slave 1 and slave 2 nodes using a secure copy again. Here's the command, and it should work. I'll do the same for the other one too. Alright then, let's do it for the other one, slave 2, and once it's done, we can start the HBase. Alright then, it's done. Let's move to the home folder, and let's start the HBase, and it will be present in the bin folder of inside this folder. So let's just start it. Alright, I clear the screen out, and this is how you start an HBase. It starts the zookeeper, and yes, as you can see, well, everything seems to be running on the master node, and let's check out the slave nodes, and yes, as you can see, the H region server is running, so I can assume that HBase is running well. Let's check it out and go to the shell. I'll just clear everything now, and now we'll go to the HBase shell. Oops, didn't copy it right. Now here it is, and yes, we're in here. Now we'll just try to create a table called T, and this is the column family. Alright then, I think, yes, now we can see that we're able to access HBase on the master cluster. I'm sorry, on the master node. This was it then. We have now set up an HBase cluster and a Hadoop cluster on EC2. Thanks for joining in, guys. If you have any doubts, you can refer to my notes, and I'll supply all the materials in the project folder. Thank you, everyone.